Hello, my name is Bobby and I'm a Senior Customer Success Manager here at ScriptRunner. And in this video, I'm going to be taking you through the AI agent part of the ScriptRunner migration suite. If you're watching this video and you haven't watched the previous one about the Analyze and Assess tool, I would recommend going back and watching that first, as that's going to give you a lot of the information you're going to be looking at here and some context behind where it came from. The Analyze and Assess is the first part of your migration journey. Interacting with the agent is going to be the second part. So watching the first video will help you picture the journey from beginning to end. With the ScriptRunner migration suite, we have an AI agent that has been trained on every aspect needed to become an expert in migrating ScriptRunner data from data center over to cloud. This tool has been fed information about the Jira Java API and DC, Cloud REST API, ScriptRunner functionality, what is available in DC and cloud and the differences between them, and also additional information that helps in writing code for ScriptRunner for Jira Cloud, including happy documentation, etc. In short, what you would need from a person, the expertise to be able to do a migration, has been fed directly into this AI agent so that it is there to be your expert when it comes to migrating your data from data center to cloud. Now, to access the AI agent from a report, we need to look at any of these scripts that are not critical. You'll have one or both of these buttons available. So for example, if we go into listeners, you're going to see that we have the explain and convert buttons. Both of these feed the information into the AI agent, but ask for two different outputs. Explain asks the AI agent to give you an explanation of what this configuration and script is doing. This can be useful for large scripts, maybe hundreds of lines long, that you need to, rather than read and understand and follow the process and the logic in the code, you can ask the agent to give you an explanation of what it's doing, how it's working, and what it would achieve, so that you can make decisions on whether that needs to be migrated, and if it does, how it's going to fit in your migration pathway. The other button, Convert, does exactly what it says on the tin. It will take the script from data center and convert it to be cloud ready. So let's see that working. So if I select Convert, this is going to take us to the agent view screen. It's going to feed in the configuration and the report, including the script itself, and is now going to begin the process of rewriting it to function in cloud. At any point during the agent's processing, you can open up these steps to see its thought process, see the process it's going through, what it's thinking about, what determinations it's making before giving you a result. And it's going to work on this and give you a full response back when it's finished rewriting that script. A couple of things to be aware of while it's doing this. The AI agent will rewrite as much of the code as possible in Happy. If you're unfamiliar with Happy, I'd recommend going to the documentation in ScriptRunner for Jira Cloud. Happy is essentially our ability to wrap Jira Cloud REST APIs, and it's also available in Data Center, around in a function that we can use in ScriptRunner. What this gives you the ability to do is write code that is quicker and easier and more naturally understandable than base level API calls, and therefore more readable as well. It will also reduce the amount of lines of code that you'll write, sometimes up to 70%. So with Happy, what you get as a result is a script that's easier to write, it's easier to read and hand over if needed, and it's not as bulky as it would be otherwise. However, one important aspect of Happy that isn't mentioned a lot is the protection from REST API deprecations. Recently, as of the recording of the video, there was a REST API endpoint in cloud that Atlassian depreciated for searching Jira issues, and they created a new one that would be the standard going forward. When this happens, this would mean you've got to go and rewrite every script that calls that API endpoint as it is hard-coded the URL pathway. However, if you were to use Happy's issue.search, that would do the same functionality. However, during this deprecation period, you would be protected from having to rewrite your scripts because we, ScriptRunner, can handle that behind the scenes. So you now have scripts that are easier to write, easier to read and hand over, smaller, more compact, more efficient, and protect you from REST API deprecations or changes. As we can see, as I've been explaining that, the AI agent has finished rewriting the scripts. it's going to give us two files. It's going to give us the extensions.yaml file, which I'll explain in a subsequent video on the dev and deploy tool, and the script itself. So you can see here, this script has now been rewritten to work with the Jira REST API where available. Not only does it doesn't just chuck a configuration and script at you, it gives you a full report on the conversion itself, including what was changed, how it was changed, why it was changed, and how you can take the files that have been given to you and present them and populate them into cloud, and the major differences between data center and cloud, if there are any that you need to be aware of. It's also worth noting that this AI agent is intelligent and will work to ensure that the scripts are accurate. You can see in the bottom right that this script that it's given us is the fourth version of this script. What the AI agent will do is it will generate a script. It will then check to make sure that there are no errors in that script. If there are, rewrite and then check again, rewrite, check again, until it comes out with a script that is and should be plug and play. However, as with any AI tool right now, whilst this script rewrite is incredibly accurate and I have never seen it and I've never heard of anyone else seeing it get it wrong, please trust but verify, ensure to test, make sure that the script works as you would expect based upon your business processes. One of the most powerful things about this AI agent is that it is exactly that. It's an agent, it's AI. It is not a point and click and get a response tool. You can see here we have a chatbot. The chat box, we can have a back and forth conversation for it. Maybe you've migrated the script, but you're looking to change something or make a modification. Maybe you just want to see if it can be more efficient. Are there any ways this could be more efficient? Let's spell correct that. And the AI agent will have a conversation with you about that. Now, not only does it have all of the context that needs to do a migration around ScriptRunner, but it also has the ability and the knowledge of the script that you have just passed through it. So it knows what you're talking about and it's able to make determinations and assessments based on that. So this is, whilst the ability to convert the script is obviously a very powerful and useful tool, it is an AI agent. You can have back and forth conversations with it to extract even more value beyond that initial migration and conversion. So as you can see, it's thinking about it. We can go and look at its thought process. It's looking to see if there are any happy functions it could replace with, or what else, and what other efficiency improvements it could make. And is going through that right now, and is actually going through validation checks on the script as well. And as we can see, it's finished now and it's gone through and it has made some optimizations. So it's gone through and actually improved our original version of what we passed through to convert. The agent is available on individual script basis as well. If you are currently maybe mid-migration or you just have one or two particular scripts that are causing you issues, rather than do the full analyze and assess and go through this process, whilst that would be the recommended pathway, you can go to an individual analysis basis. So if I go to home, I can select here to migrate a single script, and I can go and post that script into here, and the AI agent will obviously then produce the same report and information about how to convert that into cloud. And if beyond all of this, you just want to have a conversation with ScriptRunner Intelligence, you can do so. Selecting this option will give you the ability to go to the agent and ask a complete prompt with no pre-existing scripts or configurations enabled. So I could ask it, for example, what are the major differences for behaviors between cloud and data center? Again, it's got all of this context, it's got all this information, it's going to feed that into the agent, and it's going to give you a comprehensive answer on exactly what those differences are right now. And we can see that as the result comes back, the information about the differences behaviors, obviously the primary one being the programming language and the way to access information and what's available, all broken down for you in what most people are now used to in an AI response. So that summarizes the AI agent that is available in the ScriptRunner Migration Suite, a very powerful and useful AI tool that has been fed all of the information you need to have an expert in ScriptRunner migrations so that you can make your migration process quicker and easier wherever possible. Thank you very much for your time. Have a great rest of the day.